So yeah, when Creative Morning team contacted me, they said, "Oh, are you interested to make a talk?" And I thought they want me to talk about design or retail, and then I say, "Oh, the theme of this month is broken." And I was like, "Oh, thanks for thinking of me." But then I realized, we all read the news. Retail every month is worse than last year, worse than the last month. It's really going. It's tougher and tougher. So I thought, okay, maybe it's not personal, but maybe because of the business I'm working. And it's true. I've been working in retail for 10 years now, and right now the current retail model is really broken. So what I'm doing, so Kapok, we have 9 stores in Hong Kong and 2 in Singapore. And I'll just explain kind of what we do. So what Hong Kong thinks we're doing is making a ton of money. And because the shops are very visible. When you work in other industry, people don't really know. But when you work in retail, people see, oh, you have doors, you have shops opening, and they think, okay, they are making it, but it's just so difficult, so this is not true. And my mom and dad, they think I'm taking it easy, a good time, and that is not really hard work, also not very true. So next week I'm going to Fashion Week, and all my friends say, oh, that's so cool, like you're going to see all this fashion show. And I've been going for 5 years and I've seen one fashion show. Because we have meetings in showrooms, like 10 meetings in one day. It's really fun, but at the end of the day, you invited to some show and no, I want to sleep, no party, no show. So then when we work with brands, they approach us and say, hey, we have this product, it's really amazing, and they think that they've been working with this brand for years, and they know, all their friends know about the brand, so they think that just when we put that in the store, this is the effect it will create, like what Supreme is doing. And then when we do something with the brand, and it's just it's working okay, and they're thinking, oh, you're really not doing a good job, our brand is super great, but no one shops. And what we think we do, this is that, like creating a brand, doing really interesting display, VM, and event. But the reality, that's what's happening most of the time. So of course, if you shop come to our store on the weekend, it's hopefully quite happening. But a day like yesterday afternoon, when it's raining like crazy, this is kind of us waiting for customer, and trying. So why is retail broken? I will not really talk too much about the specifics of Hong Kong, and we know the mainland Chinese customer and not shopping here anymore, and also the Hong Kong customer losing a bit of consent. But I will talk generally, because I think it's not just a Hong Kong problem. I think retail has a problem everywhere, and the main challenge is online and mobile shopping. So this is basically our competition. This is Amazon. And when you see that, of course, it's really easy to get scared, And all the model of retail are becoming obsolete and broken because of online shopping. And in the past, some stores can be successful because they were giving the best price to customers. They say, okay, come to my store, I have a better organization, better logistics, and I can give you best price. But now, no matter how hard you try, there's going to be best price for your products online. You're never going to be able to compete. But then people say, okay, and that's what I started to do 10 years ago. I say, I'm going to open a select shop. So I'm going to really travel around the world, and I have my point of view, the products I like, and I'm going to get people to discover products that they don't know. And people will come to my store because they want to discover new things. But this is also broken now, because if you have a very, very specialized interest, there's going to be an online store in LA or Vienna or wherever that's going to cater exactly for what you want. So if you go for really selection and rare, hard to find product, already online, is the way to go. So now we must think, either we just close down and open our own online shop, or we try to do something interesting in retail. So I don't know if you've seen this show, Mr. Selfridge. It's an American guy who founded a Selfridge department store, you know, and it's a really, really great show. And I was watching this show, getting really interested. And what shocked me is that what he's doing is exactly what I'm doing right now. He's sleeping with a lot of cameras. It's like the way to do the business of a retail shop is exactly the same now that in 1900. So what we do is quite complicated actually. In advance, we buy a lot of product, big quantity, wholesale price, and then we ship them. And we ship them not just we ship them from Europe, from Japan, from US, and then we inventory them. That means like we have to check them, we lose them, the customer break them, things like that. Steal them, then merchandise them. We have to organize, bring it to the store, making sure it looks good in the store, making sure there's no dust on the product. Then we have to train the staff. So like multi-brand shop, rather than training the staff on one brand and one product, we have to train the staff on 100 brands and like thousands of products. And the customer like go there and pick one out of 1,000 products and go to the sales assistant and say, can I have some information? And if the sales assistant says, oh, sorry, I don't know, it's like, they suck. But no, they don't suck, they have to learn about thousands of products. Then we have to manage the product. So you never get it right. Either you order too much or not enough. And at the end, we have to attempt to sell them. So this is the whole way of doing retail. And it's very fun, but very complicated. But now, while we have to do all this, the customer has a lot of choice. Before, they have to go through us. But now, they can go also online. And sometimes they can buy directly to the brand. They can cut us completely. So that's the big challenge that we have. So what do we need to do? And I think now, there is hope. I still feel there's hope, and I'm going to stay in this business. I think we cannot beat online as a convenience. You know, you go to, I also sometimes shop online, and they know exactly what I like. They can suggest products to me. They can ship very fast. But at the end of the day, I think I make the assumption that we're not going to spend all of our life either at work or at home. That we are not going to want to spend all of life in front of a screen. And there's time that, we have free time. So lunch break, whatever, after work, weekend, and that we actually need entertainment, There's going to be a need to do something else. There's going to be the need to meet people, to have interaction. And this is actually like a picture of people ask me, what's your favorite store? And this is a store I like in Paris. It's called Nose. And they are specialists in perfume. So you go there and they have like perfume that you've never heard, like very, very specialized. And then you sit down with them, it's like a bar, and they start asking you questions about things you like, travel, smell, blah. And then it's a long questionnaire, and then they will bring you 5 perfume, you smell, you say, oh, I like this. And then they will bring you the ultimate perfume that's really matching your need. And the whole experience is really fun, it's like a conversation. And then what's great is that at the end, the perfume they will bring will really match what you like. So I think this is, for me, the future of entertainment, of retail. Like something entertaining and something where we will have interaction. And I think when the retailer are faced with online, like the threat of online, the first idea is that, oh yeah, I know what we're going to do. We're going to put iPad all over our store, and people are going to click, and it's going to be great because people love online. And I think that's stupid. I think people are anyway all the time in front of a screen. When they're in a shop, they shouldn't see a screen. So I banish. There's no screen, no iPad, no phone in the store. The store really has to be really physical, And when we read about brands, read about all the marketing research. Every time they say, oh, brand is to provide like a live, sensorial, interactive experience. And I'm thinking, I can do all that. That's what the shop is about, Like it's live, it's interactive, that's a real one-on-one interaction. And it's really, you can touch. So that's the real kind of medium is the store, you know, to really communicate about the brand. And it's also about I really like I really like music, for instance. So I used to buy a lot of records, and now I go on Spotify. You use Spotify? So they have this like recommendation playlist every week, and it's really good. They're like, oh, how can they guess exactly what I like, you know? Every week I get new music. But then I realize, you know, it will format, because based on things I like, things I listen, it will kind of define something very narrow. But when I used to go to a record store, they don't really know what I like, and they say, hey, has it got this really great music from Brazil? I'm like, I never listened to it, but then it kind of opened to more possibility. And I think that's the difference. Online shopping will give you in your comfort zone, and retail should bring you out and tell you, okay, you dress like that, it's your style, but try something different. And that's what we can do that other, I think, other can do. And retail should be a hobby. So when I moved here 20 years ago, I remember very vividly ask my friends, oh, what's your hobby? You know, and 9 out of 10 they will say shopping, you know, and I was like, oh, that's not a hobby, you know. But now I understand, you know, like I really enjoy visiting nice store, and I think we have to keep that in mind, you know. Shopping must be a hobby. So and it's also like we have to see retail as a tourist attraction. I think now when people visit new city, it's not just about, I mean, we think about place to go, cafe, but we also think about retail, where the fun store to visit, to discover things. And I think if we manage to have a really good assortment, design, and experience, then people will say, when you go, hopefully one day when you go to Hong Kong, yeah, visit this restaurant, visit this attraction, this new museum, but also visit Qatar. So it's like the most famous, I would say, select shop in the world is Colette, you know, and I went with my parents, you know, and this is the store, and the first thing my mom told me is like, that's so small. It's really quite small, but there's so much noise around it. You open a magazine and you hear a lot about it, and then it's actually like every time you go to Paris, you go there. It's one of the main tourist attractions of Paris now. Okay. So, like I say, content and curation should be at the center, and this is my reaction when I hear this sentence, you know, because you hear that all the time. Content, curation, it's buzzword, it's quite boring, but I think a lot of shops use that, you know, as a gimmick. They say, okay, now we're gonna curate a selection, we're gonna provide content, but they still do something. I mean, the shops, when you go, they still look the same. It's still racks of clothes and pile of folded garment and product. They still buy following seasons, same brand mix, the same category. So sometimes they say, okay, we're gonna have magazine, editorial on our web shop, pop-up store, but they don't change completely what the shop is about. It's just kind of a layer of makeup on what something in the bottom is very, very traditional. And I think to make retail interesting, what I will try to do is to forget about the way we like buying clothes every season, adding brand, following category, but changing the whole thing completely and start from like a theme. We basically, every quarter we choose a theme, and then we build everything around this theme. We buy products around this theme, we organize events around this theme. And this is not a really new business model. It's exactly working like a magazine is working. So this is why I decided to work like that, because that's part of my collection. I love magazine, and I think working like a magazine will make the retail experience very, very interesting. So in my idea of the perfect store, we will have 4 times a year a different theme, and then we will have like a team of journalists. So they will like really work and create original content that we will put online. Then they will work with the merchandising team, and then we will find products that are matching the theme. And then we will also have a web store, and we also have event in the store. And I think to combine everything, we will also have like a a food area, and then we will have, that will match the theme. And everything will be online and offline at the same time. So it seems very abstract, so I gave some little example.
Could you speak into the mic? We can't hear you very
well. Oh, sorry. Yes. So to give an example, for instance, I love Twin Peaks. It's an American TV show by David Lynch. And we say, okay, we're going to do a theme about Twin Peaks. So then we're going to have like fashion that is inspired by Twin Peaks TV show. Then the TV show is happening in the Seattle area. So we're going to travel there, find products that are only coming from this area. Then the TV show is happening in a very American diner experience. So we will recreate this diner and we will have David Lynch inspired product. So basically, like going to the retail shop will be really like going to an exhibition and also shopping at the same time. And I think the idea also coming from like me traveling to museum. Sometimes the exhibition is great and the museum shop is horrible, but I have been many cases where the exhibition was so-so and the museum shop was amazing. And I spent like 15 minutes in the show and then 2 hours in the museum store. And I want to recreate this idea by bringing the content. So another thing I love tennis, you know. So like why do a theme about Wimbledon? So we work with creating outfits that are matching the legendary match of Wimbledon. Then we work with brands to create special edition links to Wimbledon. So very British, strawberries and cream, white and green color theme. And then we can, I think what's important now is to really create the link with the customer and doing something. I mean, here in Hong Kong, like there's a lot of brands, they still have some budget, but they invite you to the same kind of party all the time, you know. The party is like, you go there, you see some clothes on the rack, some models walking around, you drink champagne, which is nice. But after 10 times of this, it's boring. I think what would be more interesting is finding amongst our customer the one that really love tennis, and we organize a special tennis tournament for K-pop customer. And then we roll this thing. And can be also a city, so that's one of my favorite city, Copenhagen, you know. So like we choose the best of like Danish design, Danish fashion, then we find with brand that we like, and we work so with a pop-up. So this is like a really nice coffee shop in Copenhagen called Coffee Collective. We invite them to come here. So that's the idea. And one possibility is really also to work with a big brand, but really tell the brand, okay, you don't control the message. We can go to your main office, and we have a team of journalists. We really dig out some interesting information. We have access to your archive. We can really have a magazine, but we control the voice of what we say. We meet fans of your brand, and we have brand profile, and we do something really. So let's say you're a Nike fan, but it's not the Nike team, the corporate team that decide, but our team that decide what we will do. So I think then that's really one of the ideas I have, you know, and I think it's a lot of work, and then, but I feel customer will want to come to this kind of concept. They will really decide, okay, I'm going to check what K-pop has done this month or this quarter, and then they will come and visit what we want to do. But of course, when we do this kind of thing, we need to see, will it work? Will it work like financially? So, I mean, can it be sustainable? So of course, we need to see how we can make money. So we can make money selling products, so in store, online, the cafe. Then we will have a content where we'll sell advertising. But I think the main thing will be very, very different. It will be like sponsoring. So basically, I think if we do something that is very, very exciting. I mean, I like what we're doing at K-pop now. Of course, it's my store, but I want to do something much higher level, much stronger. And then I will work want to work with brand, and then they will say, the customer experience in Capo, the designs, the whole mood is so strong that I will pay them. They will not buy products from me, but I will pay them to have my product in their store. And I'm always talking about music, because actually before I moved into retail, I wanted to work in a record company. So I really have the habit to work with a broken business. Everything changed. Basically, the record sales completely stopped, but then the live performance boomed. So the market completely changed. There are many more live festivals all around the world. Every year the attendance is stronger. So music has really understood. We cannot fight against digital. We cannot, people now, they don't want to pay for music. We get it, that we need to move on. Then we're going to focus to the only thing that digital cannot do, meaning live, one-on-one experience. And retail has to be the same. We have to just suddenly realize we're never going to compete with digital, when I'm just going to talk. I think when I go on a website, they know what I like, they know what I shop, they can introduce me something. But then, retail has to be completely different. We don't have so much technology in the store. We need to have a point of view and tell them, this is what we like. You don't know about, maybe you don't care about Copenhagen, you don't care about Wimbledon, you don't care about David Lynch, but this is cool, we love it. And we introduce people and we shop them and we make them interested. And then we really have this real one-on-one interaction. So I think if we provide something, sorry, I did the slide again. So I think if we make something that is so strong, the people that have money, i.e. the big brand, they will want to collaborate with retail so that we create this experience for them. So we can have a design fee for brand collaboration, we can rent the venue, and then they can sponsor the brand profile and sponsor event. And basically, our model has to change in the sense that now the whole model is you have to, we lock you in our store and you must get out with buying something. If you buy nothing, then it doesn't work. And the new model, it should be different in the sense that you come to the store, you have a good experience, you don't necessarily have to buy something. If you do, that's good because we get money here and here. But if you don't, we still find a way to survive in this way. And I think it's also much better for the experience of the customer. They will sometimes you feel pressure. Oh, I'm the sales associate very eager to sell you something. If we don't have this, we can really focus on giving you the best experience. And we have to learn as a retailer, we don't need to log in and make transaction on that time. We need to focus on really giving this experience. And I think that's the only way I think retail can survive and grow by becoming something very different from what it is now. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
So we're going to open up to question and answer time. So we'll probably have time for about 4 or 5 questions. We'll see. Is there anyone with the first question?
With the concept of having 4 themes, do you worry that if a customer comes for theme 1, are they going to then say, okay, I've done David Lynch, I'm over it, I guess I won't come back until the next theme?
Yeah, it's an important question, and because when I go to some store, sometimes I'm very critical since I have a store when I go to other store. And I will go to a store and it's very nice, and then I will come back and it hasn't changed enough. So I think it's really the same way, you should have difference during the 4. It's like a movie festival, you have different movies, so we should really kind of have every 2 weeks something different that comes up. That even if you're not a David Lynch fan, it's still a very nice experience and it's visually pleasing and interesting. So we need to prepare. It's a way of thinking of a TV channel or music festival. We need to have a program that people can come back and have something different. So it's a lot of work, but I think it's fun also.
Next question.
Hi. How do you deal with all the products that you're going to have in the store and the theme?
Yeah, so this comes in for basically what I was thinking of doing is during the period that the theme is on, you can only shop offline and you have to visit the location. And then that's where it's like exactly same model as a magazine. You have the current issue in the newsstand, and then if you want the back issues, you buy them online. So then online there will be like different issues. There will be issue 1, 26, and then people can still continue buying the stock online. But that's a very important thing because customers are very weird and strange, but me the same, because they want something very new. So if you come to the shop and it's the same thing like, oh, you're boring, you have always the same product. But then when you decide to change product, they still think we suck because like, I love this and you stop selling it. Why are you doing that to me, you know? So we need to balance this. But I think if we do this model, we really need to tell people it's like, we won't restock. We will not have replenishment. You need to find it now. So we need to create the feeling that they need to shop right now, otherwise it's gone. I think that's a way to make it work.
Another question? No?
Hi. I just want to, since retail is broken, you say online is the biggest sort of reason. What is that percentage of your business versus the sort of physical walk into your store business?
We're still, it's still around 10%, so it's quite low. And we're strong online in a place where we have physical store. So people know about Kapok, and then they sometimes shop online because it's more convenient. So I think it shouldn't, I'm not against online. I think every retail should have an online element, but it should really, but it's really quite difficult sometimes to handle. We do have customers that come to our store and they try clothes and they tell to our face that they're going to buy it online. They don't even hide, they don't even try the clothes and just say, oh, sorry, I don't like it. They should tell us we're going to buy it online. I don't think that's very nice, but this is the reality, that's what people do. So I think at the same time, we have a lot of people that find products online and then they always ask in which store I can go and find it. So I think we need to have both elements, and I think we need to also make the online shop quite exciting. But I still believe, because when I start buying clothes, I didn't have a budget to go to Paris to buy. So I was buying through line sheet and by email. And then you receive the product and they're like, oh, they really look good, but when you wear them, they look quite horrible, or the fabric looks bad. And I think it's the same for online shopping, Now, the way people shop online, it completely influenced the design. Basically, since it's just very visual, if something is like that, it's a nice shirt, but it's just looks very plain. You cannot sell online. I'm 42. I don't feel that I'm old, but I'm still losing touch with a few things, that are cool now. So a lot of people that work in the store, they're also part of the selection process. So they really tell me, I discovered this brand, and they're sending me email of things that they like. And it's very important because for us, it's not just one person definition of that school. It's a whole team and different profile, different age, and also for the people that are working in the store. It's not just greeting someone and say, oh, you look great in this. It's also their part of choosing the product, and since they chose the product, they're really more interested in explaining and selling it. So the biggest thing is the network of people working with me. And then to find the product, I don't really go, for fashion you need to touch and feel the product, so I go to Fashion Week. For the rest, I don't really go to this big trade show and exhibition because it's very tiring and very boring. And it's more like what I try to do is go to a new place, and it's like part of work. When I go to, every time I go to Istanbul, Copenhagen, new city, and I ask people where are the best shops, the best design studio, and I go there and basically I spy and take a lot of pictures. It's nice. And then I gather and I get that back to the store. And that's something very important. I think like why people like coming to our store is like everyone likes to travel, but we cannot. And then they go and say, oh yeah, I saw that when I was in New York. I saw that when I was in wherever, New York, Paris. And everyone has this kind of good feeling because everyone loves traveling. So yeah, the traveling part is traveling, and the team is the best way to find cool new things. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Please give a round of applause to. The gift packages that you gave everyone very generously this morning.
So in the envelope, I think you all have, we just turned 10 years, so you have plans and little gifts from anniversary. 10 of them, we design our own brand of bracelet, couple bracelets, so 10 of you have a bracelet inside. And there's a kind of golden, one of you has a $2,000 shopping coupon in our store. I don't know. It's a green coupon. And yeah, also some of them, two of them are in one side. It's very deep here, so you can comment.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. And I just have to give two shout outs. General Rowe, who's in the room, used to be a co-organizer and helped us get Creative Mornings Hong Kong off the ground. And Vivian Dunham spoke for us on robots in the room, and I know he's getting up in the morning, so nice to see you here today. But please feel free to mingle and grab coffee and food. Our next event is going to be on the 15th of July, and the theme is love. So, and I'm not going to say who is speaking or where it's going to be yet. You'll have to follow us on the social channels. But it is an actor, film director, award-winning actor, film director. So, just a little hint. Okay, but have a great Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you.